Hey guys, welcome to the anatomy series. This is the Bunny Valkyrie, also known as 𝚂𝚎𝚘𝚡. And so let us begin. The thing with I'm actually doing this video because someone requested it, and I have been putting it off for way too long. So, okay, I'll make a notes here. So, number one, what we will be tackling in this series, I feel so much like a teacher at the moment, and I don't know how to feel about that. We will first do, since it's anatomy, so anatomy, oh my god, I can't write. Instead of just diving into it, I suggest we do this route, since this is my series. And honestly, how I learned this is from, other than studying, in dentistry, we have our own anatomy class. We went through like cadavers and stuff, and that's a very technical thing. However, what I find useful more is that I know, firstly, the gesture, how to do gestures, right? And then second, how to have proportions or shapes. Okay, maybe we can just mesh those two together. We'll see about that. The third would be form. Wherein the 2D drawing feels like it has, like it's solid, like it has form, it's 2D, but it feels 3D. That's what I mean by form. So for the last one we can do is, but we will do the fourth step in all videos in this whole series, is practice, right? With this, with each, in each step, we will practice what we've learned so that it's, so we can apply what we've learned. Is actually how art and math are related, in a way that it's like the lesson gets more solidified if you actually practice it. Like if you actually apply it in your example, for art, in drawing, and for math, in your solutions, and like how to find your answers. In each step, I will be practicing with you. So we will have this photo, and then we will practice the anatomy, and then we can like take that photo reference, take that character, make it into a character, and then we play around with how they would look like if they were doing this pose and doing that pose. But that's for later on. Okay, so first is gesture. Why gesture is something I want to tackle first. It's because it gives life to your drawing. It gives the flow. It makes it feel like it is alive. Because you can have proportions, you can have shapes, but if you only know proportions and shapes and form, but you don't know how to do gestures, it feels like a janky thing on the paper, okay? It just feels like something that like is just janky on the paper. It's like, okay, what I mean is, let's make another layer. Gesture, right? Gesture, and then shapes, or shape/proportions. So gesture is what gives life to a drawing. For example, the shape. Okay, so here's the shape without gesture. So it's just circle, and then a square, and then arms, and then a bottom half, and then like, can't you see how janky that is? Can't you see there's no flow? So, for example, if you put gesture to a person, example, they're crossing their arms, right? They're crossing their arms. So, they're crossing their arms, perhaps like they're on a ledge. So they're crossing their arms, right? They're crossing their arms. Okay. I'll try to do the same shapes, but with gesture. See how this has more life? See how this one has more life than this one, than that one, right? It has, for gesture, what's something nice about gesture is that other than it giving life to your drawing, you can actually also tell something about the character, something about the, exactly, something about the, if it's not a character, if it's not a human, it could be something about an animal. What is it doing? Is it sitting down? Is it standing up? Is it like jumping around? You can't have that character in that pose without gesture. Gesture is so important. It's so ingrained in living things and in nature. Example, like the flow of the river. There's a flow, there's a gesture in the river and how the water flows, right? And then there's trees and how they're shaped, like they go up and then swoop and catch the sunlight. There's a motion, right? So there's gesture everywhere. So it doesn't really it also applies to environments, especially nature stuff, like how like a balloon is way different from a janky rock, because there's in the movement of a rock, you see how it's like jutted out, right? Like it's very sharp shapes, so it's a very sharp gesture, it's a very sharp silhouette. And then versus a water balloon, which is like, it's just a curve, a very curvy, very bouncy shape. And that's gesture. Okay, moving on. So how do we apply gesture? We'll go to the practice. Okay, I have collected photos. You can collect your own photos, but here I have collected some of mine. Right, let's pick up this one, and then another one. You can pick your own photos, honestly, but since we are here, I have picked some of mine. These are from Pinterest. There are so many photos in Pinterest, in Google. There's so many photos. There's literally an unlimited supply of references. You can even like get your favorite movie or your favorite like artist. Since this is gesture, an artist counts. Like your favorite artist counts. So, but I suggest, since we are practicing, we are starting out, if you're starting out anyway, but gesture drawing is always a good thing to practice, no matter like no matter what level of skill level you have. Okay, you label your stuff as reference on your, it can be on paper. It's fine to do this on paper. It really makes no difference, okay? You can do this with pen and paper, with crayon and paper, with crayon on the floor. I don't mind. As long as it gets the job done, I don't really mind, and neither should you. So for this one, let's see. Let's focus on number 1. So number 1, she has this gesture of, with gesture, you could emphasize certain things like the emotion of the character. You can exaggerate things. Example, if you want to exaggerate, example, here she seems like she's on the concert, and then her pose, you can make this pose look more sad if she's like really like more hunched forward, right? So you could like put her face more crouched, more into the mic, into like her grip, right? Sorry. Into her grip. Okay. And then she's sitting. You could also emphasize the gravity of like her weight on her legs. It's more curled up like that. With gesture, as long as you got like their essence onto the paper, it's fine. And don't mind if it's like really sketchy. As long as it's still readable by the end of it, it's fine. So her boot. So that's her gesture. Like, okay. This is her gesture. This is her gesture, right? If I draw it on paper, draw it like on top of the of the reference, the gesture would look like this. This is her head, like that, and then this is her back. Okay, okay. Right, that's her head, and this is her back, and then this is her legs. The flow. You can see how flowy it's supposed to be. That's gesture. The flow within an object, the flow within a creature, the flow within the human reference. So that is gesture. Okay. That's the flow of it. Her legs, like that. Alright? Okay. So as long as you get the flow, it's okay. That's the main focus we have on this video. So that's the flow. This is a more exaggerated flow. So since we wanted her to look more sad, more into like the floor, you can like push the gesture. You can push it more crumpled, since more sad people crumple themselves in. So you can push the gesture into something that is more close to what you want to convey in your art piece, right? So if you want to religiously follow the reference, we can also do that. Let's try that. Let's try that now. Okay. Let's try. Okay, I'll just move her original gesture there. And then this one, I'll make it small. The thing with this is that it's better if you do it again and again and again. As long as you learn every time you try to do it, that's fine. So we'll try to be religious with her. Sorry, I'm just checking if my face doesn't cover the thing. So we'll try to religiously follow the reference. It's best that you get the big general shape first. The big general gesture first, I mean. Sorry, my neck was itchy. But yeah. Here, you could also emphasize on positive and negative shapes. What I mean by positive and negative, this figure is the positive, this outer is the negative. So the shape here is the positive shape, like that, that's the positive shape. And out here is the negative shape, right? So you could also use that to try to proportion, in the future lesson, to try to proportion it well, right? For me, I proportioned it wrong, so I will redo it. Because my negative silhouette was bad, so let's do that. Her legs, there. She's sitting on her legs, so that's that. Like that, right? Okay. really don't mind if it's messy. You can always clean it up, okay? Okay, I'm just fixing it because I realize there, okay? This one's too sharp. Can put more flow into that, right? It's flow in the arm going here, flow in this arm, and flow in arm going there, all right? So you have to emphasize that. Why you still can? Because gesture is the foundation of your drawing. It's the life, it's the soul of your drawing, right? Without the gesture, it looks, that's why some drawings look lifeless, because they don't really have the gesture. It looks janky, it looks like there's something wrong, but you can't point it out. That's usually the gesture or the perspective, but it's usually the gesture, okay? Especially if it's like, it doesn't feel, if it's lifeless, it feels lifeless, that's the gesture, okay? Something wrong with the gesture. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself, so that's the thing, that's the gesture of that drawing. Okay, moving on to number 2. So, let's try her gesture. She is crouched by the she's sitting on the desk, okay. Okay, those are her legs. And then that's where she's sitting on. And then you can start in any big shape you see, as long as you like draw it. The something with gesture, it's best if you do this within the shortest amount of time possible. If you don't like the end result of that, you can always make another. Because gesture drawings are supposed to be done within a few minutes. Actually, for some, you should be done within a few seconds. So, yep. Okay. You can also do this with the face, like where the face is looking, right there. It's looking like there, right? You could also make the face look up like that. Face look at the side, face look down, okay? You could do that if you like. If you don't like, it's fine. It's not really the point of this, but it helps. So that's her hand. Okay. So that's the gesture. Oopsie, I don't like that. Let's see where I got wrong. The base of her hands like that, like the base of her hands like that. And then her arm does that, so we'll do that. Okay, now you see, you can check proportions, how they're skewed. For this instance, while we are still using digital, you can transform your drawing. It's fine. You can even tilt it if you like. Doesn't really matter. If you're doing this on paper, you can just erase it. Yeah, erase it. And draw again. We could adjust, adjust to what you actually see. I erased it because the legs were way too long. Okay, that's the shape she should be encased in. That's her shape. Her form should settle in that shape. If you're having a hard time, like, noticing the proportion. Okay. See how, like, a lot of things go into a drawing? It's not just, oh, I see that, okay, I draw right away. No, there's a lot of things about what the artist could see, and then they're trying to translate that on paper. Okay. That's most likely her bottom back there. And then her feet. Her tootsies should. Okay, that's the. Okay. Okay. That looks better than the previous one because the legs were too long. The leg actually peaks above. There, see here? It's above her arm. Okay. Then her neck goes like that. Okay. Okay, that's drawing number 2. Okay. Let's try the other references to it. So for 3, she is sitting on the staircase. I'm trying to push her shoulders a little bit. You don't need to do that, okay? But I'll push it like that. She's a little bit hunched into her legs. And her legs. You can see how I'm trying to make sure that each line has a curvature. I don't really do it like straight. If it's straight, I'll try to like push it a little bit, you know? It's better that way. It's just to make it feel more flowy, right? Because that is the name of the game. Gesture is flowy. So her arms over there, and she's looking up there. She's looking up there, right? Okay. Her arms are in her legs. Okay, in her legs. Okay, like that. Okay. Clean it up a little bit so you can see the thing under all that mess. Okay. Okay. Her leg is not facing that way. It's more facing towards us. So we have to fix that. Okay. Okay. That's number 2. I mean number 3. Okay. Okay. Don't worry about the clothes they're wearing. We're trying to see what's underneath. We're trying to see the figure underneath all of the clothes. So we don't have to do that. Okay, so we'll move on to the other drawing. Okay, for here I can see that her shoulders are more neutral, so we can just emulate that here. Okay, like that. Okay. All right. Okay, moving on. It should be really quick. And it should be really messy. That's the point of it. Because the gesture is the flow. And to capture the flow, sometimes you gotta be messy. So this, on this one, we're moving on to this drawing. Okay. She's holding her guitar. So big line is that guitar. Okay, big shape is that guitar. So we'll try to get that guitar into it. Okay, her leg peeks out there. Her other leg is here. Why is she wearing her shoes on the bed? Okay. Okay, that's her shoes. Okay. Into the other leg. And then this is her arm, like there. And then her hand is here. Her hand's like that. And then her body is there, just there. Okay. It's her other hand. Okay. Over the guitar. This is her head. Her head is facing down. Okay. And her neck is there. Okay. And then you can also add bits if you want to make your, if you want to also capture the flow of her hair. Not necessary. The flow of her hair is like that. Okay. And the guitar is like, okay. It should be messy, guys. Don't worry about that. It should be messy. Okay. Alright. Her other foot should be here. Okay. That's okay. Okay. And that's that. That's the gesture of that picture. Okay. Moving on to the next photo. Next photo. Here we have gymnast photos. You can better see the form in these ones. You can better see the figure, right? These two. We'll work on them. So, 5 and 6. These are the last references for this video. Okay, don't want to overwhelm you guys too much. Okay, so this big gesture, this is a big gesture. If you can see my, this gesture, we want to capture this gesture, like this whole big C shape. Because gesture shapes are C, S, mostly just C and S, to be honest. The I is not really a thing. It's I usually curve it. It's C and S shapes, and this one has a big C shape like that. This one we can capture a big shape like that, and then the shape here, shape there. We can capture these. Okay. These are the big shapes. Start with the big shapes. So we'll do that. Okay. So this one, we'll start with this first. Let's try it. It's more. And like that. Okay, her hand's there. Her feet are here. Her leg is up here. Wait, this is her bottom, or her bottom would be. Her legs up there, down there. Okay. Okay. And then her calf would be here. And then it's her bottom. It's her bottom. Her other one. Okay. Here's where you can add form on top of it, which we will focus on in a different video. because we don't want things to be too complicated at the moment. But the other foot is there. Her bottom. Her bottom's really like that. So then move it there. Right. Okay. Okay. This is her torso. Okay. Her head's there. That's her head. That's her face. That's her neck. Okay. 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 Just adjust it as you go. As long as you're learning within each practice, that's how it should be. For here, since I'll try to emulate, if you guys are not doing this digitally, I'll erase and I'll draw over it. The legs should be longer. The legs should be longer. Okay, see how shapes are involved, like this shape? Okay, but the flow, the gesture is what I started with, right? That's what I started with. That's why I wanted to focus on gesture. That's a foot. Leg. That's fine. There are steps to these, guys. No worries. We will break it down each and every step to make it more digestible. Okay. 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 You can also add the gesture of the hair if you like, but not necessary. It just makes it more appealing. Okay. This one, you can tell the gravity's going down because of the hair. Okay. Alright, that is fine for now. That's fine. Okay. Okay, let's move on to the drawing below. To this one, the last one. We're almost done, guys, don't worry. We're almost done. Okay. We're trying to capture this gesture, that gesture, this big gesture. Alright, that big gesture. And then this leg, that leg. Right? And then the bottoms, and then this one. Okay. Okay. Don't mind if it takes too long. For me, I've been doing this for a while now. So I don't do this like every day, but as long as you know, get the grasp of things. This is what I'm doing here is trying to, when I did these lines, and make it feel like it has more 3D form, right? And then this gesture of the arms, we'll get that there. Right. Okay. Then her neck is still part of this curve, so you just add onto it, right? There you go. There you go. Okay. Then the good thing about a good rule of thumb is that you could also use the ear to orient how the face is like facing, where the face is facing. Like if it's tilted, like example, like the face is like here, it's facing like up there. The ear would go down. The gaze would be there. If it's facing more there, the ear would be here. It's a good indicator to where like the face is facing. So yeah, anyway. Okay, so her hair, if you want to add it, it has flow too. It has that. So we'll do that. And that's about it. We are done. Oopsie. We are done with today's lesson, which is gesture. And then with a few sprinkles of other things like form, with other things like, yeah. A sprinkle of other things like, so after gesture, we will do shapes and proportions. Okay, here are my notes. So after gesture, which is what we did today, after gesture we will do proportions and shapes. We might just combine these two and three. Don't worry, it's fine. It's about the same thing. Because like shapes has the 3D essence in it already, and then proportions are just the length of the things in relation to each other. Example, the hand is how big is the hand to the face, how big is the hand to the arms. That's proportions. Shapes is like how things are cylindrical, how things are more triangular, how things are more blocky. Shapes, you know shapes. And then that's about it. And then we will practice in each step. Okay, so that's anatomy series. That's for the first video of the anatomy series, which is gesture. So hope you guys learned something today. Thank you so much for listening, and if you have any questions, I may answer them maybe in a short form video or something. And if you have like or maybe I'll just reply your comment. So if you guys have any other suggestions for videos, please tell me. That would be really cool. And tell me what you think of this video. If this is helpful, I would like to know. I would like to also get input and like how I could like better teach you guys certain like art topics. That would be really great as well. So thank you guys for watching. This is 𝚂𝚎𝚘𝚘𝚘. This is the Bunny Valkyrie. Bye bye. Have a good day. Happy holidays. Happy New Year.